My name is Shannon Aske, and I'm from Long Beach, California, and I'm currently living in Tuscany, Italy. I've been here about 6 years. I have traveled extensively, but I have found myself here. I married an Italian from Florence, and we are now living in the hills of Florence. We have a really large property, and it's just the two of us plus his parents that are working the land, and we have a lot of land, and so it's a really big project. We have two younger girls that take a lot of my time as well, so it's hard to manage the property, the house, the girls, and so we thought we'd get helpers. And since I've traveled so much, I'm really sensitive, I think, to other cultures, to other perspectives, and it's a great opportunity to just bring the world to us here, and I love showing that to our children as well. But I like the interaction and also to show them a little piece of our culture. Yeah, or I should say both my culture, being an American and mostly speaking English in the home, but also Italian because we're in Italy. Almost all of the people who were brought here specifically to work in the garden. We have about 40 fruit trees. We have a garden, a vegetable garden that's about 10 meters by 20 meters, and additional space that we plant, and so and then we also have a big garden in and of itself that we want help. We want help from people that can mostly do the gardening. However, my husband has also had people help him with building projects, like building a garage to store wood, building a garage for some of our equipment. He's also had help with working in the tinaya, an old wine room, to empty it out so that we can begin to build it. Most of the people we have had here have not been professionals, but some have had more experience than others. But I think the most important thing over the years was the attitude. A person who had a good attitude, who was present, who was really willing to help out, not the person who was wanting to do the minimum. Because, I want the person to have a good experience. I want them to also be able to go out and see the culture. I am happy and willing to take them down to the train station so they can go explore. And with all of them, we've taken them somewhere, whether it was out to dinner, whether it was down for an ice cream, whether it was walking around the town. We've always taken them out and around. But yeah, the willingness to work is the most important. Rather than, okay, I have 5 hours, because I ask for about an average of 5 hours a day. Like, instead of the attitude of, I have 5 hours, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to hide in my room, which would be okay, as long as, there is that feeling of, participation. Yeah.
Looks good. No more broccoli. Yeah.
Well, you guys might have gone 2 or 3.
Well, and if you know you want to travel and you know where you want to travel, I think it is important to learn about the culture, not just the sites there. Whether it's figuring out some of the music and even translating the lyrics so you understand a little bit about the culture that way, or through food, trying some recipes, or just learning about the history in the place that you're going. Again, rather than just the sites, or I'm going to lay on the beach and not interact with the local people, because the environment affects the people so much, and the people come from the environment, and you'll learn a lot more. I think that is what creates a situation that it penetrates, that it really, the experience stays with you. I think the most important thing to bring is a positive attitude, you know, an openness, a positive attitude, and eagerness to share. And that's actually what we bring to it too, a really positive attitude, thinking that it's going to be a great exchange of cultures, and you know, help for giving food and board and an insight into the culture. Most of the time, we've always had a pizza night. We have an old home, a home that was built in the 16th century, and we have a pizza oven. So we've almost always had a pizza night with them and brought family in from around, our cousins and my mother-in-law and father-in-law and everyone here to have pizza, or even to do steak like in the style that they do here in Florence. Or a rotisserie or something. We've always had some type of fun gathering while our helper has stayed. It's something that I used to think about a lot when I was traveling, because I very much felt a traveler. A tourist doesn't go off the beaten path. A tourist is looking to see just the sights, and most likely in this day and age, get a photograph of them in front of the sites.
You gonna let me touch your car?
And it doesn't penetrate.
Huh?
It doesn't penetrate, and I don't see that it would actually last. It's just kind of like something off the checklist. Whereas a traveler it penetrates, it goes in, it goes deep, and it stays, and you go off the beaten path, and you slow down, and you try to become that chameleon and kind of blend in where you are, even if you look completely different, like for myself in Asia or in Africa, but you can share your human spirit, and your smile and your eyes can enable you to do that, to blend in, you know. And I think the heart, it all comes from the heart. Well, being young and being in that cycle is necessary. It's a step. And right now, that's the reality and what needs to happen, so it's a necessary step. I think the most important thing, whether you're young, whether you're traveling, doing what you have always dreamt to do, or working in a job that you don't want, I think the most important thing is presence, being in the present moment. Because you can't change anything other than the present moment where you're at. So to create an intention, to create the thought that I want to go travel, and then I want to explore the world, and I want to see things, and I want to taste different food, is all important, making that intention. But I think happiness, which is what we're all seeking in the end, is being present, being fully absorbed in the moment, and hopefully happy. And even if you're not happy in that moment, knowing that if you are in a down place or very sad, that too is going to pass. Yeah.